Hey folks, this is David Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle, coming to you today with a video about the correctional officer mindset. As correctional officers, we tend to view the world in a bit of a different light than the average individual does. And that's simply because of our environment. It's the environment that we find ourselves in most days. It is it's the negativity that we are constantly bombarded with that gives us our mindset. A lot of your newer correctional officers have a mindset of survival. Most of your veteran staff have a mindset of not necessarily survival, but just getting through the day, and that's kind of a hard thing to do sometimes, is just getting through the day. But it's the mindset of survival, and it's a very much us versus them type mentality. And I had a colleague of mine. He's a supervisor at the regional level. He once said in a meeting with all of the shift supervisors at my institution that correctional officers experience one emotion on a regular. We're mad. We're always mad. We're mad about this. We're mad about that. We're mad about something. Correctional officers are perpetually mad. We're angry. That is the emotion that we feel. If we get passed over for a job promotion, we're mad about it. If we get passed over for an administrative post, we're mad about it. If we don't get the shift assignment of the days off that we want, we're mad about it. We are perpetually mad. And when I first started in the department, that was very much true. That was very much true. Correctional officers were always mad. I tried not to be. I was kind of the outcast, kind of the black sheep, because I tried to not be mad all the time. That didn't last very long. That honestly didn't last very long, because I'm surrounded by people all the time that are mad. And I adopted that mindset. I adopted the mindset of every little thing that an inmate does needs to piss me off. And I am so much worse as a person for having adopted that mindset. And I'm reeling it in. I'm reeling it back in. I'm getting rid of that mindset. And I think that the department has evolved. I think that our profession has evolved to where we can introduce a new mindset. The mindset of compassion. The mindset of compassion. Not compassion to the point where we are we're going to be victims of manipulation. Not compassion to the point where the inmates know that we are exhibiting weakness, but compassion to the point of making absolutely sure that an inmate's needs are met, making absolutely sure that we do everything in our power to make sure that the inmate's needs are met. That's important. That has to be done. So let's try to put the mindset of us versus them, the mindset of we have to be angry all the time, behind us. Let's get rid of that. Okay? Now, by and large, the inmate population does not view correctional officers with any compassion whatsoever. I have received several comments on videos that have just not been very pleasant. Let's put it that way. I actually had somebody in the comments of one of my videos ask me if I actually took time off from beating my wife to do my job. And anybody that's ever watched one of my videos through to the end knows that I am an advocate against domestic violence. I abhor domestic violence. But that is the mindset that the inmate population and the former inmate population have for correctional officers. But part of my code of ethics states I will treat all with whom I come in contact with civility and respect. It doesn't say I will treat everybody that is not an inmate with civility and respect. It says I will treat all with whom I come in contact with civility and respect. Now, there are some inmates that will not understand compassion. They will definitely see it as a sign of weakness. But let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot as a collective whole in our profession. Let's change our mindset away from always being angry and an us versus them philosophy to a more compassion-minded philosophy. I am not saying that you shouldn't go to work prepared for the absolute worst to happen. I am not saying that you should not go to work without somewhere close to the forefront of your mind the thought, I may be attacked, or my brothers and sisters may be attacked by the inmate population. I'm not saying to extend your compassion to where you're not thinking about these things. That's not the point that I am making. But let's say an inmate comes up to you and asks you if you would call his classification officer and check on a conditional release item that he has in place, or call his classification officer and see if he can come up to them and talk to them about a custody placement or something like that. Flying off the handle at that inmate, calling him everything but a child of God, treating him like he is less than human, and in general being mad at him because he asked you to do something is not the way to portray a positive image of our profession. The positive image of our profession says, let's show this inmate some compassion. If it is your institution's policy or your agency's policy for that inmate to grab a request, fill out the request asking the correctional or the classification officer if he can have an interview about such and such, then provide him with that request and let him know that's how we go about it here. Don't get mad at him for coming up to you. Don't yell at him and fuss at him. Just help him. What would be the problem with that? He's not asking you to do anything outside of the scope of your duties. Do it. The correctional officer mindset is very much one of protection. It is very much one of survival. It is very much one where we are prepared to go to war every day. I challenge you to keep that in your mind, but to extend compassion to your housing unit, because I think you can catch more flies with honey than you ever will with vinegar. That's all I got for this video, folks. As always, I am against domestic violence. We don't have a place in this world for domestic violence, folks. 1-800-799-SAFE. That is the domestic violence hotline. 1-800-799-SAFE. The other people on that phone have the tools, resources, and ability to help you. Okay? You call them if you are a victim. You call them if you know a victim, or you get that victim to call them. They can help. If you know the abuser in an abusive situation, remember that the worst thing you can do is nothing. Say something to somebody. And if you are the abuser, there's help for you too. First, you have to admit that you need it. Second, you have to ask for it. Now, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. You want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications so that you're notified when I post new videos. And leave me some comments. Leave me some feedback. Okay, this is a rather sensitive issue. I may have shot myself in the foot. definitely put my foot in my mouth. But this is a rather sensitive issue. If you have something to say, hit me in the comments, okay? Hit me in the comments. And if you are watching this video and you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. That way you know when I get new videos coming out, okay? This is David Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. Y'all be safe behind the fence. I'll see you on the next video.